The Young and the Restless spoilers update for Tuesday, September 23rd, reveals that Victoria Newman will play Love Doctor, while Kyle Abbott has a setback brewing. Sally Spectra and Audra Charles will also scheme to salvage their futures. So let's discuss what's coming up in Genoa City. Since Billy Abbott went off the rails and ruined their plans for Abbott Communications, Sally will give Audra the latest info. Audra will get updates on all the Billy drama and realize she's back at square one when it comes to her disastrous career. However, Audra isn't a quitter, so she'll do some plotting with Sally on Tuesday's Y&R episode. Between the two of them, Sally and Audra will hope that they can figure out some path forward, even if it no longer involves Abbott Communications. Of course, there might still be a chance for the media company if Billy can work out a new deal with Jack Abbott.
Since Billy is furious over Kane Ashby taking back his own offer, he'll be far more willing to negotiate with Jack and team up against their common enemy. It's just a matter of whether Jack will get on board. Jack may have some reservations since going along with Billy on this could fuel the most dangerous parts of his brother. As for Victoria, she'll play Love Doctor for Kyle and Claire Newman. Victoria will push Kyle to face the reality of the situation and perhaps stop applying so much pressure if he truly wants Claire to come around. Victoria may fear that Kyle's going to drive Claire into Holden Novak's arms if he keeps this up. Holden could indeed gain the upper hand in this budding love triangle, thanks to a new offer he's about to make. It turns out Holden will ask Claire to come with him on his trip to Los Angeles. If Claire goes along with the idea, that could bring a setback for Kyle and pull her closer to Holden instead. Even if Claire's on the fence about visiting LA with Holden, Kyle may have a livid reaction to the news. That's the kind of thing that could lead to Claire joining Holden just to prove she's in charge of her own decisions. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Claire and Kyle have more conflict ahead of them, so stick with the CBS soap. Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the next 3 weeks, September 22 to October 10th, reveal that a Noah Newman mystery will begin while Nick Newman and Sharon Newman take action. Kane Ashby's enemies will also rise, so let's talk about what's coming up on the CBS soap. The week of September 12 to 26 will bring Billy Abbott's turning point since he'll want to bring Kane down and will seek Jack Abbott's assistance to make it happen. Despite Sally Spectra's concerns about Billy being out of control, he'll force her to make a choice. Billy may push Sally to accept this is who he is and embrace his vengeful side, or else this relationship isn't going to work. Over with Kyle Abbott, he'll fume after Audra Charles provokes him. Kyle really needs to learn how to walk away and avoid Audra's drama, but he'll let her drive him up the wall again. As for Claire Newman, she'll contemplate going on a Los Angeles adventure with Holden Novak, since he'll ask her to travel there together. Other Y&R spoilers say Lauren Fenmore Baldwin may score the truth from Michael Baldwin about his arrangement with Victor Newman. So will she blab his betrayal to Kane and try to end all this? Kane will indeed put a stop to an alliance soon, so that could be Michael if Lauren exposes his traitor status to ensure his freedom. Although Victor will make Kane a very tempting offer, it may be wishful thinking for these two to truly work out a deal. Victor seems poised to call a truce with Jack instead and form a joint plan to take Kane down. But it's always a gamble when a Newman-Abbott partnership is involved. During the week of September 29th to October 3rd, some shockers may await for Tessa Porter and Daniel Romalotti Jr. at the hotel where Mariah Copeland's crime went down. Mariah told Tessa that she tried to kill a man, and viewers saw a flashback of Mariah smothering a stranger with a pillow. Did that guy really live? And if so, what happened to him after Mariah's attempt on his life? Of course, there's also the potential for Tessa to get swept up in the moment with Daniel during this trip. Will a kiss or even something more passionate happen between them? Next, Sharon and Nick will have to leap into action for Noah's sake. Noah will get pulled into some danger in Los Angeles, so Nick and Sharon will team up to save their son. There's an LA Noir story that'll be playing out in October, so the week of October 6-10 could bring some big developments. Sienna Bacall may play a role in trapping Noah if she poses as the project developer he's supposed to meet with. Roger Howarth's character will also be involved along with Detective Burrow, who should help Sharon and Nick with their investigation. Back in Genoa City, Kane's enemies will rise up against him, but there could be a problem. Victor and Jack's alliance won't go according to plan, so their feud could take center stage once again as time goes on. The Young and the Restless spoilers say the next 3 weeks will bring some scary moments and unpleasant surprises, so stick with us for updates on all the horrible news and major showdowns. The Young and the Restless spoilers update for Monday, September 22nd, reveals that Billy Abbott will seek revenge on Kane Ashby, so he'll seek a takedown alliance with his brother. At the Abbott mansion, Tracy Abbott will get a warm welcome home from Jack Abbott and Diane Jenkins Abbott before they offer updates on Billy's latest crisis. There'll also be a discussion about the changes in Kane, so Tracy will reflect on their almost romance when Kane wanted their friendship to become more about 6 years ago. On Kane's train, he'll reiterate that there are too many variables and push Billy to accept that he's out of the picture. Kane will think Billy should concentrate on not losing Sally Spectra, but Billy will drop some vengeful hints before he exits. Since Kane will grow concerned about Billy blowing up his plans, he'll send Michael to chase after Billy and fix this. In the meantime, Kane and Phyllis Summers will discuss some of the things they have in common before deciding to grab dinner together. At Society, Tracy will plan on meeting Amy Lewis, but Amy will send her a message about taking a rain check. That'll give Tracy a chance to chat with Michael after he fails to talk Billy out of getting payback on Kane. Once Kane and Phyllis arrive, they'll walk over to the bar where Tracy and Michael are seated. Kane will share a sweet reunion with Tracy before cornering Michael outside the main entrance. After Kane makes it clear that he's counting on Michael to contain the Billy situation, Michael will insist he's got it covered. Kane will return inside and catch up with Tracy a bit more, so Phyllis will raise an eyebrow over the connection between them. Next, on Monday's Y&R episode, Billy will surprise Jack and Diane at the Abbott mansion. After Billy suggests he's seen Kane's true colors, he'll propose a deal with Jack instead, and will want to take Kane down together. At the coffee house, Daniel Romalotti Jr. will give Tessa Porter news on his park interaction with Mariah Copeland, who asked him to look after Tessa and Aria Porter Copeland. Daniel will hint that it sounded like Mariah might not be coming home. Tessa will talk about Mariah's Boston treatment plan and how she blurted out that she tried to kill someone without sharing the details. After Tessa wonders if Mariah is truly dangerous, Daniel will acknowledge that she's not a monster like Ian Ward was. Tessa will question whether she should let Mariah go or dig deeper into all this. Since Tessa still loves Mariah and won't want her to suffer alone, she'll decide to investigate at the hotel where Mariah took her business trip. Tessa will hope to talk to people there and nail down some answers about what happened, so Daniel will offer to come with her. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Tessa and Daniel could uncover some shockers on this trip, so don't miss all the wild discoveries ahead. As Young and Restless, Mariah takes off to seek help with her deep, dark secret TM. She's all but paved the way for Daniel to get together with Tessa. Mariah even asked him to look after her wife and daughter, but of course, his fondness for Tessa goes beyond friendship. The singer leaves him humming one love song after another. Though Taraya fans are sure to lose their bleep if Daniel and Tessa cross the line that separates friends from lovers, his portrayer hopes that even they may be brought on board. It feels like, with the connection that these two people are having, Michael Graziadei tells Soap Opera Digest, that the audience is going to be rooting for them to get together. And honestly, the chemistry between Graziadei and leading Lady Kate Fairbanks is pretty irresistible. We noticed it as far back as when he was bending her ear at Society, long before she ever started teaching him how to play the guitar, and their relationship intensified. Grazia Day, of course, is aware that Terea shippers will be angry that he is coming between Arya's moms. The triangle promises to inject into their storyline something that's often been missing: drama. But viewers tend to take it poorly when anyone or anything messes with their favorite couples. "I would just like any fans who are mad at me," the actor says, "to just kindly remember that I'm not writing it." The Young and the Restless spoilers update for the week of September 26 reveals that Victor Newman and Jack Abbott will consider making the ultimate power play, while Sally Spectra gets backed into Billy Abbott's corner. For starters, Tessa Porter will resolve to get to the bottom of what really happened at Mariah Copeland's hotel. Mariah said she tried to kill a man, so Tessa will launch an investigation with Daniel Romalotti Jr.'s assistance. After Billy vows to make Kane Ashby pay for his latest betrayal, Kane will put Michael Baldwin's fixer skills to the test and push him to handle the threat. Kane will also spend some time catching up with Tracy Abbott, so Phyllis Summers will gawk at them while they're reconnecting. Back with Billy, he'll turn to Jack despite their recent showdown. Billy will seek Jack's help to destroy Kane, but Jack and Diane Jenkins Abbott will have concerns about Billy's unhinged behavior. While Diane and Jack try to settle Billy down, Lauren Baldwin will confront Michael and demand to know what he's hiding. Lauren has a hunch that Victor has dragged Michael back into trouble, so he may admit that's only partly true. Michael is employed by Kane, but he's secretly reporting info to Victor in hopes of repairing their friendship. As for Billy, Y&R spoilers say he'll hand down an ultimatum to Sally. It sounds like Sally will either have to get with the payback program, or else a Billy breakup could be in her future. Once Victor updates Kane on a tempting new proposal, he'll give Kane a lot to think about. Victor will offer something that Kane finds incredibly difficult to turn down, so he might promise to reunite Kane with Lily Winters and fix his family. If Victor could actually find a way to pull that off, would Kane be willing to ditch all his grand plans? That's something Kane may have to genuinely consider depending on what Victor pitches. Nikki Newman will remain on edge over Victor's schemes and everything he's leaving her in the dark on. Victor only tells Nikki things on a need-to-know basis, but she'll eventually get some news that catches her off guard. That could involve Victor and Jack teaming up, since they'll both mull over the possibility of joining forces. Jack and Victor could make the ultimate power play if they work together, but it'll be risky due to their trust issues. Next, Kane will decide to bail on an alliance, but which one will he ditch? Will Michael already end up on the chopping block, or could it be Phyllis who gets the boot for some reason? On another note, Kyle Abbott will get some guidance from Victoria Newman before clashing with Audra Charles again. Nadra Souks will get under Kyle's skin and create even more friction between them. Claire Newman will also contemplate an invitation from Holden Novak, who'll ask her to travel to LA with him. This could be Claire's chance to put her romantic problems on hold, but Kyle's sure to flip out if she actually goes on this trip. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Claire and Kyle have more hostility ahead, so stay tuned. Claire gets an offer. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, September 23rd offer Kyle some life lessons from his girlfriend's mother, while Sally and Audra know they're down but not out. Kyle has the sads that Claire still isn't over the fact that he kissed Audra in France, and that he didn't tell her he'd made a deal with her grandpa, and that he totally misread the room and asked Claire to marry him when what she really needed was space. Basically, Kyle's done everything wrong, but he still expects to be forgiven, because he's rich, and spoiled, and really, really entitled. So Victoria has some truths to lay down on him. Maybe he'll listen, but it would be a new experience for him. And while Kyle is pouting, Claire is out there, living her best life. She's being snotty to Audra. She's put dear Grandpa Victor in his place, and she's hanging out with Hottie Holden. He makes her smile, and he listens to her about Kyle. He's the perfect man. Is he about to make Claire the perfect offer? Audra has lost her business prospects because Victor never keeps his word. Sally has lost her business prospects because Billy is incapable of making a good decision, professional or personal. But while the men in their lives stomp their feet and try to convince the other how they're the smartest person in the room, Sally and Audra are picking themselves up, dusting themselves off, and starting all over again. Sure, they'll ultimately lose because women aren't allowed to win in Genoa City. But we sure can hope they'll got a few good jabs in the meantime. Find out what else happens in our weekly Y&R spoilers for September 22 to 26. According to Kane, his plan is just beginning and it could fall into place. This week's slow burn involves Kane's plan, which is brewing on the young and the restless. He told Amanda that his plan is just getting started. Kane feels confident about his plan. At first, he stalled, but he's moving forward with it. So far, things haven't moved quickly, which makes this a slow-burning storyline. Kane is actually a likable and charming person, which makes it hard to believe that he wants to take everyone down. But first, he had to make sure he had some allies on his side. Phyllis was a desperate and willing contender. Michael agreed to work with him, but only because Victor wanted him to. And then there was Billy, who blew up his chances of working with Kane. Kane is already a billionaire. What more could he want? It's hard to believe that he wants to be the most successful businessman in the world. It seems like he's making this more personal than business, even though he claims it isn't. Kane claims his plan is better than Billy's plans. Does this mean he intends to use the AI software the way it's meant to be? He could use it to take over everyone's companies in Genoa City, but why does he want to do that? His main goal is to control these companies in secret, but that cat is already out of the bag. Everyone and their mother knows about Kane's AI software, but the secret is that Kane is the one who's in control. It doesn't even matter who uses it. Kane has all his bases covered to protect his image and his family. The company he would most like to get his hands on is Newman Enterprises. He could also want to get Chancellor back and have Lily operate it. His main goal is to get his family back, and he'll do whatever it takes to make it happen. Kane is making everyone second-guess his moves, so they can't see what's coming next. It seems like he has plans for company takeovers and to get Lily and their kids back. He's juggling multiple goals, so it'll be interesting to see if this pans out. It looks like there are some laughs with Tracy around, but also some intense conversations. Spoiler photos for the Monday, September 22nd episode of The Young and the Restless feature Kane talking to his dream team and reconnecting with Tracy. Meanwhile, Tessa and Daniel have a revealing chat. Kane is a disaster waiting to happen. He is finally enacting his plans for Genoa City corporate domination, and he's taking Amanda, Phyllis, and Michael for a ride, and who knows what he's doing with Billy. Meanwhile, he has this super not-so-secret AI weapon at his disposal that could prove a problem for companies like Newman and Jabot. However, he also wants to repair his relationship with Lily and his kids. If they're not happy with his deception now, what if they find out about this AI software that could ruin people's professional lives? Kane connects with Michael, who works for Kane now, but also reports to Victor. Are these two comparing notes? Does Kane have a special task for his new fixer? Kane also chats with Phyllis, who sometimes thinks she's his equal partner. Nope, she works for Kane, not with him. And in this image, the two are observing, possibly getting the lay of the land. And then what? Will they divide and conquer? Tracy and Phyllis, two of Martin Lawrence's 3 biggest Genoa City victims, reconnect over wine and a martini. Phyllis may also have questions about Kane and Tracy's past. She is a nosy one, that Phyllis. But first and foremost, let's hope Phyllis gets Tracy to talk about how she's doing in a mental health kind of way. It has been a minute since we have seen her. We need an update. According to Monday's teasers, Kane and Tracy reconnect. Since these two have a little bit of a past, it'll be interesting to hear her thoughts on Kane's transformation over the last 6 years. From Aristotle Dumas to this 2.0 version of Kane, what do you think she'll feel about his journey? Who knows? She may gain inspiration from his tale and actually want to write a novel about it. Michael has been so tense lately. He's joined up with Kane and become a double agent for Victor, not to mention the fact that he's dealing with Phyllis and Victor's drama. Plus, he's keeping all of this a secret from Lauren. So it's nice to see Tracy and Michael share a light moment. Savor it, Michael? You might not get another one anytime soon. The Young and the Restless spoilers suggest that Victoria Newman could plant a kiss on Nate Hastings very soon. These exes are both going through a hard time and leaning on each other in the process, so could a vulnerable moment trigger a lip lock? Let's talk about it. The Young and the Restless spoilers remind fans that both Nate and Victoria are mourning individuals that are close to them, and they've bonded because of this. While everyone was in Nice and Cole Howard passed away, Nate was there for both Victoria and Claire Newman. In the aftermath of learning his brother, Damien Kane, passed away and his breakup with Audra Charles, Vic has been there for her ex. While the two are just friends right now, fans can't help but feel as if more is on the horizon for these two, along with a potential reunion. In fact, fall preview spoilers for the CBS soap tease that Nate and Victoria might explore a reunion. And there's a good chance that another incident triggers an emotional moment between the two. Claire is dealing with a lot right now. Not only the loss of her father and betrayal from Kyle Abbott, but Audra's role in it all. If Victoria has an emotional moment where something happens with Claire, and Nate happens to be in her orbit, could she turn to him for support? Could Nate be there to pick up the pieces? If Victoria is frantic or upset, could he console her with an embrace where the two end up kissing? Could more happen? So much has changed since Nate and Vicky were last together, and more importantly, both of them have changed where their values are concerned. They are both single, and they wouldn't be doing anything wrong if they crossed a line. So will Claire's life issues be the very thing that pulls Nate and Vicky back together? The Young and the Restless spoilers document that Kane Ashby isn't holding his cards close to his vest. Instead, he's comparable to Billy Abbott. Viewers became reintroduced to Kane earlier this year when the persona that was Aristotle Dumas invited the movers and soapy shakers of Genoa City, Wisconsin, to a villa in the south of France. Little did anyone know that Flynn's debut on this enduring soap would be the spark of what has become an all-encompassing storyline. It would have been hard to imagine Daniel Goddard's original edition of this character behaving as Flynn's does. Whether that's why the recast happened is not fully clear. But the sharp focus on what is now Flynn's power-hungry version has created a number of pressing questions. Lily Winters is affected when she's in Kane's presence. Khalil's character is being truthful when saying that she's no longer in love with him. But she also doesn't want to provide an opening for that to happen. Her guarded demeanor goes well beyond romance. The betrayal their twins feel is real and isn't likely to heal quickly. So, Lily finds herself as an intermediary in that situation, which Kane says he owns. Viewers also recall that Lily received an offer. Khan told her that he would abandon his GC plan, without providing the specifics of it, if she would pursue reconciliation with him. She rejected that offer coldly. Those two companies are the behemoths. Kane wants them for reasons that are tied to his late father's efforts to secure the fortune that has given Kane the ability to contemplate this type of radical business maneuver. It seems impossible to believe that this scheming version of Kane wouldn't suspect Michael Baldwin. How could the head of Arabesque, which was created on now-known stolen money, believe that Michael has no existing ties to Victor Newman? The artificial intelligence tool Kane has revealed can apparently allow him to take control of Newman Enterprises, Jabbo, and any other company he wants to possess. So, giving a seized Winters Incorporated to Lily as a gift isn't outside the realm of daytime reason. Billy's wild card status makes him an intriguing player in this play. He's got it in for Kane now. And that motivation could torpedo the multiple takeover plans, or at least slow them. Jill Abbott's return to GC also stands to force Billy and Kane to heal. They care about her deeply. Kane thinks of her as a mother, and Jill suffers no fools where family is concerned. Kane's developing talks with Victor will have to end with one clear winner. Billy is still betting on himself to emerge victorious, but he can also turn the tables, do what's right, and re-establish trust among those who care about him, which doesn't include Kane. This site is a leading source for everything linked to the young and the restless. Check back regularly for Y&R spoilers and news. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal there are 3 must-see moments for the week of September 22nd, 2025. Fans can expect Tessa Porter to make a bold move. Claire Grace Newman mulls over Holden Novak's offer. Plus, Kane Ashby reconnects with Tracy Abbott. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Let's start off with Tracy, who will be back in Genoa City. The woman is certainly a lot more healed than Phyllis Summers. The redhead assumed Tracy was writing a revenge tale about Martin Laurent. However, Tracy has been getting therapy and really working on herself. At the same time, Phyllis went through a lot more than Tracy when it came to Martin. In any case, Tracy and Kane actually have a connection. So, that will be quite interesting. I wonder if Tracy will be able to get through to the tycoon. Over with Tessa, she gets caught up with Daniel Romolotti Jr. The man is honest and admits that Mariah Copeland reached out to him. However, Tessa isn't ready to let her wife go just yet. After learning that she tried to kill a man, Tessa has a better understanding of what is keeping Mariah away. However, Tessa insists on taking some time off and going to Mariah's hotel room. They should be going through this together. But what if Mariah says no? The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of September 22 reveal that another must-see moment centers on Holden and Claire. In a preview clip, Holden says that if Claire needs distance, he might be able to help. It seems that Holden is taking a trip to Los Angeles and has asked Claire to go with him. However, will she agree, or could this cause Kyle Abbott to follow them? Fans will also see Lauren Fenmore Baldwin stands her ground with Michael Baldwin. Plus, Sally Spectra and Audra Charles come up with a plan. I'm wondering if Sally is still technically CEO even though she quit. Maybe she could make a deal with Jack Abbott, rename the company, and launch it as her very own. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of September 22, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next. The Young and the Restless spoilers document that Jill Abbott has only been a face and voice on a video screen in recent months. But that's about to change as Walton returns to the set on Y&R. Billy Abbott's latest flailing has caused Jill great consternation. She can't believe that her son is so hurt by her selling Chancellor to Victor Newman that he would put himself in the mustache's crosshairs. Yet, that's what he's done. Meanwhile, the man Jill thinks of as a son, Kane Ashby, can also use motherly care. Walton's iconic character, who dates back to this show's origin in the 1970s, needs to help him get out of a soapy hole he dug as well. Walton is one of the great actors in this show's history. While she isn't the original actor to portray Jill, Walton made the role her own through many years of indelible performances. Jill's legendary battles with Catherine Chancellor will forever remain part of this show's lore. Newer fans learned of that history through retrospective scenes showing Jill and Catherine going at it in moments that were tense, hilarious, and forever memorable. Billy needs his mother, even though he would vehemently dispute that assertion. His admission to Jack Abbott and Victoria Newman that he wants to get back at Jill for selling Chancellor to Victor solidifies Sally Spectra's fear that Billy is overboard. It would be nice if Kane's biological mother, Genevieve Atkinson, hadn't been seen in years. Daniel Goddard was working through his long run when Francis joined the late Tristan Rogers on Y&R in 2011 and 2012, while Kane was recently with his father, shortly before and through Colin's death. No sighting of Genevieve has happened. Of course, Francis's presence on GH makes Genevieve's return unlikely because she is the only actor to portray this character. So, a recast would be needed. Filling the gap is Jill, who was conned into believing Kane was her son when this character initially debuted. That ruse was exposed. Yet it didn't create permanent damage, and Kane came to think of her as a mother, partly because Francis' character didn't have that skill. With all that's happened, Kane needs advice, especially regarding his family. Jill is fond of Lily Winters and will offer sound advice regarding reconciliation efforts. Billy was talking to himself in a bizarre sequence before Jack and Victoria's arrival. While their talk didn't change Billy's mind, it did provide another out opportunity. Later, Kane called Billy and told him he was not proceeding with the plan and wouldn't give him the artificial intelligence tool to use against Victor. That happened because of a conversation Kane had with Lily, so Billy still has a chance to pull himself back. But viewers know that Thompson's character has gone gambler mode and always seems to find a way to sabotage any progress he's made or goodwill he's earned with his loved ones. That makes Jill's pending arrival vital at this point in the plot. The young and the restless spoilers reveal a chilling twist for Mariah Copeland and a devastating fallout for everyone she loves. Mariah has vanished from Genoa City without a trace, and the shocking truth behind her disappearance is enough to shake Tessa to her core. Before leaving town, Mariah confessed a dark secret. She tried to kill someone. That bombshell alone has left Tessa spiraling, desperate for answers and determined to uncover what really happened. But she won't be doing it alone. Daniel Romolotti steps in to support Tessa, though even he is rattled by the mysterious circumstances. Mariah claimed she was heading to Boston for treatment, but now it looks like her trip may have been a cover-up. Her actions before leaving, her secrecy, her tension, and her unusual request for Daniel to look after Tessa and baby Aria suggest she was preparing for something far more dangerous than therapy. Did Mariah leave Genoa City planning never to come back? Tessa and Daniel soon retrace Mariah's steps to a strange hotel she stayed at during her business trip. Staff recall her odd behavior, late nights, unusual requests, secretive phone calls, but the real clue comes from security footage. After some persuasion, Tessa gains access to the tapes, and what she sees turns her blood cold. The grainy video shows Mariah slipping into a dimly lit room in the middle of the night, visibly shaken. Moments later, she is seen leaning over a man in bed, a pillow gripped tightly in her hands. Just when it looks like she's about to suffocate him, she gasps in horror and bolts from the room. The shocking reveal: the man isn't a stranger. He's someone tied to Mariah's past. Could the victim be connected to Ian Ward's cult, the same dark chapter that nearly destroyed Mariah years ago? Or could it tie back to Heather Stevens, rekindling old pain for Daniel himself? Either way, this revelation pulls Daniel directly into Mariah's secret, and the consequences could shatter lives in Genoa City. For Tessa, the footage confirms her worst fears. Saving Mariah may mean facing truths that could destroy their marriage. Spoilers hint that this investigation will push Tessa and Daniel to their limits, unraveling their bond with Mariah and forcing them all into dangerous territory. One thing is certain: this isn't just about Mariah's disappearance. It's about a secret so dark it could tear families apart and redefine everything for Mariah, Tessa, and Daniel moving forward. Genoa City. For a woman who has built an empire on control, Victoria Newman is facing a crisis that has sent shockwaves through the Newman dynasty. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Victoria is reeling from the bombshell revelation that her daughter, Claire, is pregnant. The news alone was a devastating blow, but the identity of the presumed father, Kyle Abbott, has ignited a firestorm of maternal fury, threatening to escalate the long-simmering tensions between the Newmans and the Abbotts into an all-out war. Victoria's life has been a masterclass in navigating power struggles and betrayals, but Claire's decision feels like the ultimate act of defiance. To Victoria, this isn't just an unplanned pregnancy, it's a reckless entanglement with a family she has spent a lifetime mistrusting. The Abbott legacy, in her eyes, is one of deception and self-destruction, from Jack's endless clashes with Victor to Billy's infamous spirals. She is convinced that Kyle, despite his polished exterior, carries that same tainted legacy and will inevitably bring her daughter nothing but pain. Victoria's immediate, cold-hearted solution is termination, a brutal but, in her mind, necessary step to sever this dangerous tie before it can cause irreparable ruin. However, the situation is far more explosive than Victoria initially feared. In a tearful confession, Claire admitted the devastating truth. The baby might not be Kyle's at all. Another man, Holden, is also a potential father. This revelation transformed Victoria's anger into ice-cold dread. The scandal is no longer just about a problematic union with an Abbott. It's a ticking time bomb of public humiliation that could destroy Claire's reputation and weaken the Newman empire. Victoria can already envision the whispers, the judgment, and the brutal fallout once the truth comes to light in a town that feeds on scandal. The conflict has created an unbridgeable chasm between mother and daughter. For Claire, this baby represents a desperate bid for independence, a chance to prove she can make her own choices, however catastrophic they may seem. She is stubbornly clinging to the hope that the child is Kyle's, believing it could be the foundation for a real family. She refuses to be a pawn in her mother's corporate games and is prepared to face the consequences of her secret. This leaves Victoria trapped in an impossible dilemma. Her ruthless business instincts tell her to seize control of the narrative. Should she betray her daughter's trust by telling Kyle the truth about the paternity question now? Doing so would be a cruel but strategic move to mitigate future damage and protect her family's name. Yet, her maternal instincts recoil at the thought of deliberately inflicting such a devastating blow on her own child. Every option leads to ruin, and for the first time, the formidable Victoria Newman finds herself powerless, watching as a secret threatens to burn down everything she has fought to protect. This week's slow burn involves Kane's plan, which is brewing on the young and the restless. He told Amanda that his plan is just getting started. Kane feels confident about his plan. At first, he stalled, but he's moving forward with it. So far, things haven't moved quickly, which makes this a slow-burning storyline. Kane is actually a likable and charming person, which makes it hard to believe that he wants to take everyone down. But first, he had to make sure he had some allies on his side. Phyllis was a desperate and willing contender. Michael agreed to work with him, but only because Victor wanted him to. And then there was Billy, who blew up his chances of working with Kane. Kane is already a billionaire. What more could he want? It's hard to believe that he wants to be the most successful businessman in the world. It seems like he's making this more personal than business, even though he claims it isn't. Kane claims his plan is better than Billy's plans. Does this mean he intends to use the AI software the way it's meant to be? He could use it to take over everyone's companies in Genoa City, but why does he want to do that? His main goal is to control these companies in secret, but that cat is already out of the bag. Everyone and their mother knows about Kane's AI software, but the secret is that Kane is the one who's in control. It doesn't even matter who uses it. Kane has all his bases covered to protect his image and his family. The company he would most like to get his hands on is Newman Enterprises. He could also want to get Chancellor back and have Lily operate it. His main goal is to get his family back. And he'll do whatever it takes to make it happen. Kane is making everyone second-guess his moves so they can't see what's coming next. It seems like he has plans for company takeovers and to get Lily and their kids back. He's juggling multiple goals, so it'll be interesting to see if this pans out. The young and the restless spoilers are in for the week of September 20. Fans can expect Jack Abbott to have a trick up his sleeve. Claire Grace Newman gets an intriguing invitation. Plus, Lauren Fenmore Baldwin stands her ground with Michael Baldwin. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Let's start off with Claire, who receives an intriguing invitation. This will come from Holden Novak. In the weekly preview clip, Holden tells Claire if she's looking for distance, then maybe she could come to Los Angeles with him. The blonde seems intrigued, but it could also lead to some danger. At one time, Audra Charles mentioned that Holden loved to take risks, and it scared her. The brunette never went into detail, but I wonder if Claire could end up in the same boat. Speaking of Audra, she will get updated by Sally Spectra. The redhead tells her friend that Billy Abbott destroyed the company before it even launched. However, Audra is no stranger to hostile takeovers or devious scheming, so they will put their heads together and figure out their next move. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of September 26 reveal that Daniel Romalotti Jr. will update Tessa Porter. However, the singer has no intention of just letting Mariah Copeland go. Tessa decides that she's going to go see Mariah. Fans can also expect Victoria Newman to give Kyle Abbott unsolicited advice. Later, Audra pushes Kyle's buttons. Victor Newman makes Kane Ashby an offer he can't refuse. Meanwhile, Jack and Diane Jenkins Abbott rein in Billy. It is also stated that Jack has a trick up his sleeve. Kane reconnects with Tracy Abbott. The woman will give a little history lesson, and it's kind of fascinating. By the end of the week, Kane ends an alliance. Billy will also force Sally to make a tough decision. Lauren stands her ground with Michael, so it sounds like she finds out the truth about all those text messages. Plus, Victor considers a truce with Jack. Elsewhere, Nikki Newman gets surprising news. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of September 22, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next. The Young and the Restless spoilers document that Billy Abbott heeds no one's warnings, even from the ones who love him. Sally Spectra is the most recent person to become collateral damage in Billy's latest effort at self-sabotage. Citing a need to bring Victor Newman down and use Kane Ashby to do it, Billy willfully threw himself back into a rut. The simple reason he did it is ego. Sally became a stabilizer in Billy's life following the heartbreak of losing Chelsea Lawson to Adam Newman. So, the danger of losing Sally because of his stubborn intention to get Chancellor back at all costs will make fans wonder if his and Hope's characters should have been written together at all. Billy and Chelsea were solid, or so he thought. Sally forgave Adam for hurting her intensely. They had a long road back to reconciliation and were heading for the altar, or so it appeared. But Adam and Chelsea's romantic connection reignited when they were in Baltimore, Maryland. Their son's OCD issue was diagnosed, and that created an opportunity for their repressed love to re-emerge. This proved to be the basis for splitting Adam and Sally, along with Billy and Sally. Adam and Chelsea's history is deep. Their passionate connection is real, and the tie through their son, Connor Newman, matters. So, it made sense that the former couple would reunite at some point. Having them do so because of the trauma that involved Connor worked. However, Billy and Sally only happened in reaction to Adams and Chelsea betraying them. Thompson's character and Hope's weren't interested in each other and wouldn't have betrayed Adam and Chelsea in this manner. It could be that the writing staff feels Billy and Sally are played out or aren't working as well as hoped. The coming week's episodes may determine if this pairing is past tense. Jack Abbott told his brother in no uncertain terms not to engage with Victor. Billy disregarded his #1 cheerleader and sole financial backer of Abbott Communications, which was busy work designed to help Billy get back on track. Billy's ingratitude toward Jack is haughty, which should have served as a warning sign to Sally. This is another plot point, with Hope's character not having the ability to influence Billy. If she had or can, then maybe they are destined to remain together. Victor is the king of this town. If Billy brings him down, then viewers will want to wash their mouths out with soap because that will be one of the more unbelievable outcomes in decades, if not ever. Somehow, Billy has convinced himself otherwise.